Hello class, this is Mr. Perez. We're gonna do some basic type management. I'm gonna teach you a little bit how to use type in Illustrator, which will be very helpful for your self-portrait projects and more projects in the future. Let's open a new uh, artboard to play with. So I'm gonna go File, New, and let's see, this time we're gonna keep it as a letter size, but just to play a little more, we're gonna change the orientation. We're gonna go sideways, and we have one artboard. Will be just like one page. So click OK, and the new Illustrator window shows up. Okay, one of the basic things we can do right away is to type on a path. So far I've been using the pen tool to do this, and I don't like to have a fill when I do this. It's not necessary. I just care about the path, and I like to make them black, but the color is irrelevant because they will disappear. So far we've been learning how to do this, and then you get the type tool and you start typing right on the path, and you type. Then with the black arrow or the selection tool, you can click right before the letters and you can slide it on that path. Okay, I'm gonna select everything with the selection tool. I click and drag, so make sure everything is there. I hit delete, and the type is gone. Another option that I can do is to take the brush. Again, I'm gonna flip the colors, make sure the stroke have color. And this is more like a freehand kind of tool, and I can just paint, and then same thing, still is a path, meaning that I can go and start typing. I can change the size if I want, even before I start working on it. And we can start typing. And it goes on and on. Again, you can take the selection tool and you can slide it down if you like to, or you can take a direct selection tool and you can click on the anchor points and change the type as you see fit. Okay, I can also select everything with direct selection, hit delete. Okay, I'm gonna show you a few other things you can do. A very useful thing, let me go undo, which is Command Z, so I can have some type here. When I have letters selected on a path, I can go to the type menu, and there's a whole menu for type on a path. And when I'm here, I like to go to type on a path options, and right there I got a bunch of cool stuff. To be able to see it, I need to hit preview. That way I can see what's going on. I could flip the type, you see, went upside down. I can align the type. Right now it's aligned to the baseline, meaning the letters are running right on the path. I can do it to the ascender, which is the top part of a letter. And see, now it's aligned to the ascender. Like the sender on the T will be that little piece of T, and here on the D. Okay, we can do all kind of funky stuff to it. You can change the kerning. You can change also the effect, which way it's portraying. Like you can skew the letters. You can do really funky stuff. We can do like stairs. You see the letters now. So there's all kind of funky stuff you can do to type on a path. I'm gonna go to rainbow. Go back to, okay, I'm gonna align it to the descender, or the bottom part of the letters. And I go okay. So that's kind of neat. Now I'm gonna delete everything. Select all, delete. I'm gonna make now, let me type a letter. I want them both to have a fill and a stroke, just so I can have more stuff to play with. I'm gonna change the stroke to a yellow. And I'm gonna make it thicker so I can really see it. And the letters are 24, it's a good size. So I'm gonna type the letter P. And there we go. I need to highlight it, put the yellow in it. There we go. Now I can click on the corner with my selection tool, hit shift to keep the letters the right size, and I can make them larger. You see? If I change the weight of the stroke, the stroke right now is 8. Let's say I go to 5, it will go thinner. Now, right now this is type. It's a letter which I could highlight and change the typeface to a different family. Like instead of Media Pro, I could have Optima or any, well, works better if I highlight it. Let's go for not just Groovy. And here we go. Now, a really cool feature of Illustrator, let me undo this, Command Z, it's that I can turn the letters into drawings. And once they're drawings, they're really fun to play with. So let's say I'm gonna hit Option. I get a double arrow with the black selection tool, and I can drag, that way I get two separate letters. I'm gonna highlight both, right click on your mouse. If you go create outlines, you're making a drawing of those letters now. You see? Suddenly, it's just like something you drew with the pen tool, which opens a lot of possibilities. Because now I could, like, for example, let me change the fill on this one to a different color. So you get to see, let me see, I got this. And let's make it red. I go okay, and then the stroke. Let me double click. I'm gonna make it green. Now, there's a really, really neat tool called the Pathfinder. It's a toolbox that has a bunch of options for letters. If I go Window, Pathfinder, the Pathfinder shows up. Okay, and the Pathfinder allows me to make these shapes interact with each other in several ways. It's kind of like a cookie cutter in a way. I could highlight both, for example. Then if I go to divide here, the Pathfinder just created a bunch of shapes, but it keeps in group. It's usually you go to object, you will see their group. I could ungroup them, but right now, just for this example, I'm gonna keep in group. Now with the direct selection tool, I can pick any particular area, like that one, you see? And now I can start deleting anything I want or changing the color of things. Let's go for a blue. Okay, now if I'm gonna start going undo, Command Z on the Mac. Okay, and I'm back to where I started. I'm gonna move them again. They need to be touching each other for the Pathfinder to work. Now I select them both again. Look at what happens if I unite them. They become one thing. It would be great to make a logo like the Chanel logo that have the two C's overlapping each other. See, now it's just one shape. And if I expand them or contract them, they're gonna work together. There's several options to the Pathfinder. I encourage you to play with them. They're really, really nice. And remember, another way to see the different typefaces is you go to Type and you go to Glyphs, and the Glyph menu will show you all the options for the typeface that you have selected at the moment. Okay, I hope this helped you with your typographic portrait project. You are allowed to expand letters, but you're not allowed to distort them like I just did here. This is wrong. That's correct, because they still have the original proportion.